Welcome back to Home on the Hitch. I'm Thomas. We're going to be talking about water filtration today, specifically products from Clear2O. I know you may have seen the green filters that you screw into the water hose. That's made by Clear2O. They've got some really cool new innovations out, so we're going to talk about those. I'll put all the information in the description below, so you can have it there. It'll all also be up on our website, probably in the store up there. You can find that at www.homeonthehitch.com. So go there and look, and you'll see everything there. Really cool products, really cool guy to spend the time with us at the show. So let's get this started.
Hi,
Hi there.
how are you? Good.
Hi,
good.
I'm Keith.
I'm Melissa.
Thomas. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So we've used your filter before, this is the original.
The original filter?
Yeah, we've used
So
that.
now we've added the dirt guard.
So that's pretty cool. What can you tell me?
Sure, absolutely. This is a used filter, of course.
Right.
That gives you some idea what it's going to be. But what we did is by putting everything here into a solid carbon block, you can now drink the water. It's a much higher quality of water
Right.
than a solid carbon block. But what we wanted to do is offer something that offered two stages. So similar to the
Which is
canister
great.
system,
Yeah, I mean, it's
this is inline, and it can now be, of course, used outside. So anybody that doesn't have space or they want the convenience of an
I
inline,
really like that.
they don't
yeah.
want to spend the money on a canister
Yeah.
or bother with the canister. You can get the canister performance, but inline now. And so that filter actually goes inside here. We nested it inside.
Right.
So it can just insert inside. And the goal was to make it the same length or a very similar length to just what the standard
Right.
filter is. And so this filter, that's 1,000 gallons.
Through it. So what's
This
that?
is what it starts with.
What's that made out of, though?
This is polyethylene.
Okay. Yeah.
So we actually formed this into, it starts out it's made very similarly to the same way that we make our carbon filters.
Okay.
We take the plastic particles and compress them into this form. So it makes a very durable form,
Right.
but it's a porous form. So this is actually 20 microns. The water flows straight through
Right.
it overall.
Wow.
But we made it very durable so that you can actually clean it. Because we didn't want to just have to
No, that's an
constantly
excellent
change the
idea.
filter.
Yeah.
So you can go through and use a kitchen scrubber and just scrub off the outside, any buildup that's
Yeah.
actually through all of it. You can scrub that off and then rinse it off. We also make a adapter that you can actually use on your hose end. And then with that, you can actually just put it back inside. And then by just inserting your hose into the end, you can backwash the filter.
Oh, okay.
So that'll knock out anything that's embedded, etc.
Gotcha.
After a while, we say you can backwash 3 times,
Yeah.
and after a while, it's going to start looking more like this.
Right.
Again, this is 1,000 gallons.
And
that have
it's
gone
time
through
to.
it.
How much
Well,
is the
this has
replacement?
only lost a half a gallon per minute.
Okay, so
even
that's-
at 1,000 gallons, you can continue to
The flow
use
rate's
this.
not that bad. Yeah.
You
And
can
how,
continue to
so
use
how
that.
often would you recommend that you replace this filter?
We recommend they replace it every 6 months.
Okay.
If they're a full timer, if
Right.
they are, or somebody who camps often. If they're a weekender, it can probably last a year.
Right.
And then we recommend you always replace every filter every year.
Every year, anyway.
Right.
Correct.
Anyway, yeah.
I really like the way that this is set up and showing it off the post of the tap like this, because then you really get the true effect of how gravity works with,
It's kinda hanging
with
down
the
with it.
filter.
Well, and that
it takes
keeps the
the
weight
pressure
off
off
of
of your city water connection.
Off
in
of your
camper.
connection on your rig, that it's all there. That's great.
Absolutely. And then of course we include the hose with it just so if you need that extra, if it's
Well,
shorter,
it might be shorter.
and
towards
you
the,
can lay it down on the ground. There's no problem with laying it down on the ground if that's a better scenario.
Right.
So cost effectiveness, what are we looking
These are
at for?
available online right now for $39.99.
Okay.
And you can buy them on our website. They're on Walmart.com. Camping World also carries them in the stores
Right.
as well. And then our filters are also available for $34.99.
Okay.
And they're available, same thing as Walmart.com, our website, Camping World has it as well.
Okay.
And for those of the people who aren't familiar with your filters, how does your filters work?
So
Well, let me get something that'll help with that. to
Okay.
show that. The big difference between our filter, the green filter, and everyone else is everyone else uses granular carbon. So I don't know if you can actually see this, but this is the carbon. It's granular. It's actually what's inside the majority of the competitive filters. So these can be anywhere from 20 micron to 100 micron, depending on which filter it is.
Right.
And quite often, the carbon section is 100, and they make a small little filter that goes on the end that allows them to consider this to be 20 microns. Ours, on the other hand, is actually solid carbon block. So you can actually see that it actually is a full solid carbon going through here that we can press into this.
Right.
And by doing so, we're 1 micron. So 1 micron is going to block out everything, and we're 1 micron for the entire length.
For the entire.
So what this does is this gives us a lot more carbon to work with, about 25% more carbon by weight than the standard filters that are out there. And then we can get to the 1 micron, which is really the drinking quality of water.
Right.
So here you can make your coffee, you can do everything. You really don't need to be carrying your bottled water any longer once you use this filter. And these are good for about 3 months.
Okay.
And then when the flow rate starts to go down, it's time to replace them at that point.
Okay.
And the carbon really does improve the taste of the water also.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, carbon's a magical substance overall. It absorbs all the chlorine,
Right.
the lead. So this is rated for 1,000 gallons of lead as an example, to be able to remove all this and VOC. So it takes out all of the ethylenes, the benzenes, the atrazenes, all of the things that can be in water. This is going to take all that out, including that sulfur smell. If you ever have had that, this is going to take that sulfur smell.
Which is very common in Florida water.
Very common in Florida water.
We've initially just used the single filter. We've upgraded to a dual canister exterior. So I see them over there. Can you tell me about what you have?
Yeah, absolutely. We
those canister folks?
sold out of the dual canister. So
Of the dual canister system, but you still have the filters.
You have the
today.
filters, right?
We have the filters and the system, canister system, we sold out of those.
Right.
And we're in the process of getting more of those now.
Right.
So for the canister style,
Right.
for the canister style, we offer 3 different filters. Now we're expanding that, and you're going to
Okay.
over the next year, you're going to continue to see more filters coming out. But we offer the 3 most common filters. So you would usually start out with a pre-filter.
Yes.
So we have a 5 micron pre-filter.
Okay.
Then moving into a carbon filter. Now this has all of the carbon that we talked about in the earlier one as well, and it's going to take out all the taste and odor issues, etc.
Right.
So that happens here. So where the pre-filter is really about removing particulates, the carbon filter is really where the chemical exchange occurs.
Okay.
And this is where you need a combination of both to
Right.
really be able to do the best job for your water. And then for those that have it, if you can go to a 3rd level,
Right.
then this is actually a 0.5 micron filter.
Okay.
So it has carbon embedded as well, so you do get some carbon, not as much as a solid carbon,
Right.
but it does allow you to get to 0.5 micron, which is now down in the
Now you're
microbial area
you're really-
overall for your drinking water.
Okay.
Which is quite ideal when you're in a remote location.
Absolutely. One thing we want to point out, though, for people is to really know what they're buying. So this is a solid carbon block. This
Yeah.
is what we actually have. And this is a competitor that you can see that they have actually a styrofoam core. So when you look at them from the outside, you'll notice that they look very similar when you buy them. But you really need to understand, read the labels, make sure
What you're
getting
buying.
it. Quite often, solid carbon is going to weigh a lot more overall. And if they are very lightweight, most likely they're a carbon wrap, not a solid carbon.
Very nice.
So how do you recommend storage of your filters when you're not in use?
Well, we tell everyone if they're going to be there for 2 weeks and we're without use at all, to go ahead and drain the water from that. Okay, so here you would just take these off, drain the water from them, and be able to store them, dry your filters, so
Yes.
set them out.
Let them dry.
Just drip dry and dry out. A dry filter, you can continue to store it. So once you need them again, go ahead and start it back up, go through your startup process, put the water back in, and you're going to be good to go.
Perfect.
The same thing for the inline filters here. If somebody is going to not be using it for a period of time, just shake them out,
Yeah.
get the water out as much as possible, stand them on the end, let them drain, and then when you do that, once they're dry, we include dust covers.
Right.
Keep them, put the dust covers back on,
Yeah.
and store it inside your unit.
That's how we had stored ours.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Well, we did it right,
As long as
yeah.
you're using it for your period of time is longer than 2 weeks,
Yeah.
I think that's the way you should do it.
Okay.
If it's shorter than that, you're just going from campground to campground, no problem.
It's fine. Yeah.
Just store them. You don't even have to change the water.
Okay. And are these all 3 the same cost, or are they different prices?
Well, we have the different costs on these at retail are going to be in the $19.99 range,
Okay.
the $14.99 range, and this is actually up to $29.99
Okay.
for the higher micron.
And you have a personal water filter
Yeah,
also?
so this is a new product that we just brought out as well, because we have a lot of people who are they go RVing, but then they go hiking as well. And so what this allows you to do is be able to take some water with you by being able to take this micro straw with you. So this is a personal water filter. So you can see through it.
Yeah.
Inside here is the microtubules. So this is actually 0.1 micron.
Wow.
So
Okay, that's really.
all the cysts, the cryptosporidia, giardia, all the things that could happen from open water sources will get taken out.
0.1. That's small
Then what we do is we actually add a second stage, which is a carbon stage,
for the flavor.
because this section here doesn't actually impact the taste of the water at all.
Right.
You won't get sick from it, from the microbiologicals, but if it doesn't taste good, it's not going to taste good. So we add a carbon component to actually go through and clean the water, and then once you actually can drink it, it'll be much, much, much better water. So
Which is opposable to your competitors. They don't
exactly,
offer
which
that.
only offer this section
Right,
generally.
right.
That's
And
nice.
this
We add
is
this
a
to-
straw.
This is a straw, so you actually take this out, and then you can drink straight from the water source. Okay, now in addition to that, we do include, as you see a small picture, a 1 liter canteen. It's a collapsible canteen is included with it. So what you can do is fill that up, put this on the end, and squeeze the water through.
And then,
Oh, very
and then,
nice.
and then fill
Very
your
nice.
bottles or cooking.
And then
or,
we sell the carbon as a replacement pack. So after 20 gallons, replace these. And these are backwashable. So you would just take that canteen and backwash it as well. So whenever the flow rate starts to decline, just backwash it and continue to use it over and over and over again. So this is the only part that has to actually be replaced. Yeah, we started out in 2008, so we've been in the kitchen side of the business
Right.
for a very long period of
Oh,
time.
okay.
So we've had water pitchers for a very long period, and solid carbon again is where we always come to overall. So this is a countertop version.
That's.
This works for people
that's
that may have
great.
a travel trailer,
Yeah.
etc., where they don't really have any filtration, but they want drinking water filtration. So this is again solid carbon block. It lasts for 500 gallons. You do have to connect it up to your sink, so it doesn't have a bypass.
Right.
So,
But that's a great option.
so for people that have the space, they have a room on their countertop, and they just want to clean their drinking water, then they can get that
well,
from here.
I prefer to also cook with a purified water also.
Absolutely. Well, it makes a major difference.
Well, especially when you're making pastas and things like that, because it does absorb the flavor of the
Absolutely.
water. So that makes a huge difference.
Well, we tell everybody for your coffee, if you really want better coffee, filter your
Need
water.
clean filtered water.
We have a lot of people that come by and say they only use bottled water for their coffee, but that, to me, that's very much of a trouble. You got to go buy it.
Right.
And then you face storage problems
Absolutely. So
and
if we
weight.
can clean the water
Yeah.
with filtration is, to me, the best way to go.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
That is great. You guys have got a lot of great stuff.
You have to look
Oh, and one last that I'm sorry, garden and pet.
Yeah, well, it's the same filter, but for people that actually use a lot or like to garden a lot.
Yeah.
This is actually focused on removing chloramines. So, because if you're watering your plants, you're
Right.
putting all the chlorine in your water into your tomatoes. So those tomatoes or watermelons or whatever are absorbing all of that as well.
Right.
So we sell this that actually removes all the chloramine. And in doing so, you're going to have better gardening, more organic gardening.
Well, huh.
And we also have a lot of people that buy this for their horse farms. They also buy it for their pets. And they give their water for their pets from filtered water as opposed to just straight out of
That's
the hose.
great.
This is a great product for at-home use.
Yeah, absolutely. This is generally
right,
used
for
at
people.
home.
Yeah, for people
Just on
who are not on the road. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah, people on the road can use it too. They just have to switch
yeah,
out the hose.
yeah.
No, that's great.
So same thing as 1,000 gallons, and it gives you a significant amount of water to use for that.
Very nice.
So I really like the versatility of your products, because we're all about showing people that there's multiple options for whatever suits your needs and the way that you travel.
Absolutely.
So the versatility that you offer is amazing, and we're
Thank you.
very
Thank you
appreciative
for
of that.
noticing that, because we do believe everybody's a little different, and they need to customize their
Choices.
water
Right.
situation and how
And-
they want to go about doing it. They need to customize it to themselves. So we try to help people to find that right combination of things.
All right. So if you need water filtration, Clear2O is obviously where you need to go. So they've got everything now. So we appreciate your time.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for stopping by.
Thank you for having us.